Second now. We're live.
Yay.
Hey, did that sound exciting? Hi, guys.
It sounds about as exciting as my donations.
That's nice. That's nice. At least you
Weird
get
having me in
donations.
the background.
What? Oh, let me. Oh, good. I'm muted. I always forget to mute myself, and then I hear
Whoa,
myself
holy
having a
crap.
live stream. There we go. Cool. So, hi, everybody. How are you Monday night? It's me, and you can see I've got Joe and Matt with me, although Matt is muted right now. He's working on some technical difficulties. Dr. Ray will be along at some point, Lord willing. And I've got some surprise guests coming at 7:30. So definitely stick around till 7:30 because these are cool people that I really like.
A lot of echo.
And now everybody's muted. They'll figure it out. Hi, Dory, my co-pilot. Hi, Steve. Who else is here? Bill Prack, my paranormal investigative teammate. How are you? It's good to see you. Hi, Cassie. Oracles and Beyond. Elaine, West Haven. Hi, honey. Thank you for coming. Good to see you guys. This is going to be cool and fun and informative as soon as they get their microphones figured out. See, what it is they're sitting in the same room.
A lot of echo.
They're sitting in the same room. Well, turn off your computer speakers or in your settings for StreamYard. Go to mic, go to cam and mic, and turn off. Don't use this. Use your earphones as the speaker.
All right, I got it.
Well,
I totally forgot that
you're echoing. Okay, so
No. I already figured this out.
in StreamYard, go to cam/mic. Okay, you want your mic to be your mic, and your speaker to be your headphones. Turn off your computer speakers.
Let me do this.
Thank you, Cassie. Thank you for sharing out. They'll figure it out. So anyway, the theme and the topic. All right, you guys. The topic this week. I know I'll mute. I don't want to mute you because I want you to figure it out. But the topic this week is I want to talk about why we do the paranormal. And I have these experts here.
We're getting feedback.
Ow. I didn't say they were AV technical experts. They are paranormal guys. So anyway, I've also got a couple of surprise guests coming on later, so pretty excited about that. But I'm pretty sure, guys, in the StreamYard settings, use your headphones as the speakers, not the computer.
Yeah, I wanted to try the speakers, but
I was planning on using just one mic, not two mics.
I'll need it in here.
We're using this mic.
Yeah. All right.
There shouldn't be any more echo.
Use one mic. There we go.
That's
See
what
what
I've been saying.
happens? Teamwork makes the dream work.
You listen to me, Joe.
Well, I had it on mute. All right. Anyways, we got.
But I can hear you both great, and that's awesome. So yeah, if you guys could share this out, that would be terrific. Like I said, I've got a couple of great guests here.
Oh, the StreamYard link? Good idea. I'm just kidding.
No, not the StreamYard. That's okay. So Joe is muted, but that's okay because I can hear him on the other mic. Today's topic is why the paranormal is like, why do we do what we do? And it's going to be interesting because everybody comes at it from a different angle and does it maybe in a different way. And so that's what this is all about tonight. And I've got Joe here and Matt, and they just dropped their first, I believe, your first documentary, Harrisville Haunting.
My first good one.
First good one. Okay, well, their first good documentary. And we talked about that last week, and it was all about the real Conjuring house. And so then later on, hopefully, I've got some other guests coming. I did invite Billy, who said he would drop by. And then I've got some special guests coming in a little bit. So why don't we get started? And hopefully Dr. Ray will join us very soon. Anyway, I wrote this really interesting script, and I'm going to read it because I'm impressed by it. We all have our own origin story, And for many of us, what got us into the paranormal is like an initial paranormal experience, or it puts us on our quest. Different people follow varying paths, and that's what you're going to hear tonight is different people's paths in the paranormal. And they're all valid, okay? Everybody does it in a different way, who does it honestly, and they're all very, very valid. So some people seek out haunted places and just look for physical manifestations. Some people use electronic equipment to try to communicate. ITC, we call it ITC, right? Instrumental transcommunication. That's when we're using our radios and our ghost boxes. So it's all different ways to do it, but every different way is valid. So I have Joe Vitale. I was going to call you Joe Vitality. I'm sorry.
Eric's rubbing off on you.
I know Eric is rubbing off on me. Oh, and there's Steve Holte. Steve Holte is in. Hi, Steve. How are you? Steve is going to be joining us in just a little bit. Can't wait. So let's start. I'm going to start with Joe. Joe. Okay. So you just released your first documentary with your group of fellow paranormal explorers, you, Matt, Billy, and Eric. Oh, Eric from Epic. How could I forget? And your friend Levy, of course, was a little bit in it. And I know that this has taken like at least like almost 2 years of your life that you guys have both been working on this. And I know you're not done yet. I know there's more to come. There's a DVD, there's the blooper reel, there's the extras and all that.
Another version I have to make.
Another version, maybe a series, maybe a mini series.
No,
right?
I had to cut things down. I cut things out.
Oh, well, I liked the mini series idea. Okay, but I know that this is not, and I know you're saying, oh, it's just one document, but it's a success to come out with something this big. But I know it's not an overnight success story. Okay, so you've been at this for a while, right? Like, how many years, Joe, have you been involved in the paranormal?
I've been involved. I'm going to age myself. Let me take these off because I can still hear myself. I've been involved in the paranormal. I got started when I was 14, almost 15. I was probably too young and had no business. What happened, though, what got me to the paranormal is what made me want to stay away from the paranormal. And that's only because of the experiences I actually had growing up in a home. It wasn't nice. I didn't know it then, but I learned a lot from that. So what happened was we had these things going on in the house. They were bad. We had to have somebody come to the house 3 times to get rid of whatever was there.
Oh, wow.
Kind of embarrassing for my parents, having like people outside in the backyard doing blessings and all kinds of other stuff because the neighbors are like, what the hell's going on here? I grew up in a Christian home, very Christian home. But that more came from my grandmother, my mom's side of the family. Uber Christian. No such thing as ghosts. It's all demons. It's all demons. And she'd always say, the devil is capable of doing this, can do that, da-da-da-da-da-da. But hey, there's Jesus. And I'm like, well, that's great. But I'm not hearing, all these really cool things Jesus can do other than he came back from the dead and a couple of miracles here and there. And here I am, I'm like hearing all these horrible things that the devil can do. That scared the hell out of me. I wanted nothing to do with it.
But your parents, even though your parents were very Christian, they actually allowed people to come to the house to try to do what, like an exorcism? Yeah.
Okay. So it was mostly my grandmother who was uber Christian and putting that stuff in my head. Now my parents, my dad, my stepmom, they weren't uber Christian or anything like that. They believed, but it wasn't like we were going to church every Sunday.
Okay.
But it terrified me. And I was with a friend of mine at a restaurant. Like we were teenagers at this restaurant drinking coffee, thinking, we're grown-ups, how cool of us, whatever. And that's where like a lot of the kids like went to in junior high school. And he was actually teasing me about the situation. He wasn't being serious, but he was just kind of teasing me about it. All right, behind me is this paranormal team. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
he got up and left to go use the bathroom, and he ran into some friends along the way. And one dude got up from the bit behind us and come over to me and starts questioning me about it. I'm like, dude, who are you? Like, he's in his 20s. I'm like 14 years old. And he's asking me all these questions about it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. He can make fun of me. And he explained who he was and, the group and stuff like that.
They wanted to come to your house, I bet.
No, kids. That was never brought up. He just wanted to know about, what I went through because they found it, like what my friend was saying, kind of interesting, but wanted to know more.
Did that pique is that what piqued your interest in the paranormal then?
No, that did not. I wanted nothing to do with it still.
Okay.
So he kept trying to talk to me. I'm like, no. And he kind of made an offer to me saying, hey, maybe we'll take you with us, and you won't have to do anything. You can just, talk to us, because we're kind of interested, and that kind of thing. I'm like, no, want nothing to do with it. It's like demons and stuff. No, thank you.
God, that's right.
So like a week later or something like that, a week or two later, I seen him again at a gas station. And he walks up to me and he's like, hey, you remember me? And I'm like, oh, no.
Not you. Not you again.
So I kind of like talked to him, whatever. I wanted the guy to leave me alone, really. And my dad was at the gas station. So he took my phone number, said he'd get a hold of me. They'll take me with him on a little investigation as long as it was safe, whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure. Think I'm not going to hear from him. That damn weekend, I heard from him. He called. My dad's like, hey, there's some guy on the phone for you, and I'm like, So of course I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going. But now what am I supposed to tell my parents?
Oh,
so
Lord.
I get closer to the weekend, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go spend the night at a friend of mine's. Never told them that I went. So just about any time that I had ever said I'm spending the night at a friend's house, nope, I was with them, and it wasn't intended on me to be with them for that long.
Wow.
So I was with them for a couple months. I never experienced anything with them. I thought maybe this isn't real, or I didn't understand why I was going to these places with them and never experiencing anything until once something happened, and I'm like, holy crap. But at that point in time, now I was interested.
Wow.
And I stuck with them up until 1999 or 2000.
Oh, okay.
And the team just dissolved. It wasn't like there was anything bad that happened. It just,
it happens.
The two leads, they were just, they were old. They were in their 60s, and they're retiring. They're getting an SUV.
They retired.
Or not an SUV, an RV, or whatever the hell it is.
Right. Wow.
They just traveled the country. That's what they wanted to do.
So when they dissolved, what did you do next? Did you form your own team or join a different one?
So what happened there was, even though I was still doing the whole paranormal thing, music really started taking over my life.
Right, you play the guitar.
I became a daddy. So I knew the dangers of going to places and having things follow you back, and I didn't want that for my daughter. So I stepped away from it for a while. Worked, being a dad, and then I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna get back into it. And it's like, oh hey, guess what? We're having another baby. So, and I don't regret any of that. It wasn't until 2003 when I decided to go ahead and go full speed ahead again. And it wasn't even full speed ahead. It was very limited. Being a father, working.
Right.
So, and then 2016, after my mom passed away, then it was full speed ahead. Nothing stopping me.
Nice.
I was basically, I wasn't officially divorced, but separated. And I'm like, I don't have anybody telling me what I can do whatever I want.
So at that point in 2016, what did you start to do, and when did you start on YouTube?
So I actually got started on YouTube. I believe it was 2006, actually. I had a
Okay.
channel. And the team that I was with, one of the members, who I talked to once in a great while, he sent me a bunch of discs, like DVDs and just like regular CDs, and just packed, all
Mm-hmm.
of our stuff. Not all of it, but a lot of the stuff that we did
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the '90s. And I had actually uploaded those
Oh,
to YouTube.
wow.
And
Okay.
then I don't know, it was so stupid. The I believe it was the production company for Ghost Hunters started the whole takedown thing with anything and a title, or I
Oh,
think it just
okay.
in the
Yeah.
description. I don't
Right.
remember that
Right.
had
Right.
Ghost
Right.
Hunters in it
Oh, okay. Okay.
or
So
Ghost
that was
Hunter.
that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
all of my videos were gone. Now YouTube was
Okay.
like, "Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll fix it." The production company apologized for it,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, you'll get your stuff back up. You'll get your stuff back up." No,
Yeah. But
never did.
what I was interested in is like why, like I think about my trajectory and how I discovered the paranormal community on YouTube, which is something I never even knew about. So, that's I was wondering like how did you, maybe I'm just not as much in touch as everybody. I don't know. But about 5 years ago, all of a sudden I discovered this. And so, but you already knew about it. So
Oh
obviously
yeah.
if you,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
so
knew.
that,
It's funny.
yeah.
I basically grew up with paranormal,
Mm,
um, from like stories about Ed and Lorraine Warren and what they've done,
right.
to just all kinds of other investigators as well.
Right.
Plus, I grew up in a family that liked horror films. So, and I've
Oh.
seen a lot of horror films and
Yep.
a whole lot of really bad B horror movies.
Those are the best kind, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't like
it
horror
depends.
movies, so I'm a hard one to. Hi, Selena. How are you? Thanks for coming. I am. I don't like them. I don't like horror movies.
Yeah.
But so that okay. Well, that's cool, and I am going to get around to asking everybody when we're all together, like what drives you. But I want to ask Matt some questions now. So let's go to Matt. And Matt, now this is Matt, you guys, and as you may know, he's one of the stars of the documentary, The Harrisville Haunting, the real Conjuring House that we talked about last week.
Wait, I'm the
And
star. No.
yeah, you're all the stars. You're all the stars of it.
I think you got me
Okay.
confused with someone else. I'm a nobody.
Well, you're only a nobody if you think you're a nobody. And so I have to give you credit though, Matt, because I know that you guys have been working on that documentary for a really long time, and that you did a huge portion of the editing, which
I did
is
pretty much all the editing.
yeah, which is
He did a
so.
couple text things. That's about it.
I mean, you should get like a medal or something for as much of the editing as you probably had to
Yeah, you
do.
should get a medal for procrastinating and
No, no,
having issues with the computers.
it
And
is so much work. Hi, Tangi. How are you? So, Matt, I'm interested because I only met you for the first time when we were up in Rhode Island for the premiere. And I'm very interested to know because I know you have a little bit of a different approach, which I'll ask you about in a minute. But what got you started in the paranormal and in paranormal research?
Well, once upon a time. I'm just kidding.
his name is Matt Fitton. He never believed in ghosts until Zach Bagans took his shirt off.
No.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I used to see shadow people all the time. That's what got me
Okay.
interested in the paranormal. So I started reading books about them and all that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How
How old were you?
I was in elementary.
Okay. Okay.
So I remember being in Carrillo Elementary School, renting out ghost books, and yeah, I used to see shadow people all the time. And so that's what got me interested in it. But
Okay.
I never even thought about becoming an investigator until my trip in 2011, summer 2011, at the Old Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada.
Okay.
For the very first time, I tried to ask them questions because I heard about the
Mhm.
Old Washoe Club being haunted. So I
Mhm.
went inside the Old Washoe Club, and the first time ever I asked them questions, and I got a response back. I got a piece of brick thrown at me, which was pretty cool. And it got me really
That was
psyched.
cool. Oh my
Yeah, so
goodness.
that's literally what got me hooked.
Well,
Is
how did
that
you
I
end up?
realized
If you weren't interested in it before that, how did you end up at the Washoe Club with a group of people on a family vacation?
family. I was on a family trip with my dad and stepmom, and
Oh.
we were Lake Tahoe, and then
Hmm.
Virginia City was close by. My dad and they like historical areas, so they
Oh, that's so
went,
cool.
and I went with them. And then I heard about a haunted building. I was like, "It's haunted!" So that's what was like. Oh, I want to go.
Oh, that's
I
great.
went
That's
there by
great.
myself because everyone else was checking out other things. I wanted to check out the museum and stuff like that, and
Uh-huh.
and ask questions. And
Mm-hmm.
so I did, and I used my voice recorder on my phone. So basically, it was like a flip phone, I think, back then.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like
And that
I just pressed
worked.
record on it, and just recording, and got my wait, what was the flip phone? Oh, it was a very old phone.
Well, it was 2011. It could have been a flip phone. Believe me, if my husband could have a flip phone right now, he'd have one.
Yeah, so it was some old phone,
You still have them.
it basically just press record on it, doing EVP sessions. It was crappy audio, but then when I asked a very specific question, because apparently there's supposed to be a little girl spirit there, I said, "If there's a little girl here, can you please move something or make some kind of noise?" Literally
Mhm.
seconds later, a piece of brick gets thrown,
Oh my
and
goodness.
now and I even got a tattoo about it,
Now
about my
the
origin story.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Now the Washoe Club, I've heard of it. What kind of club was it? Was it a nightclub in the 1800s or
it
something?
was a brothel,
A brothel. Okay.
yeah, and a lot of rich people came through there at the time.
Okay. Okay.
It was a mining town, so
Okay.
it was the main
Oh,
center
Virginia
of the town.
City.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
What a cool place.
but it was interesting, and
Hmm.
yeah, a great experience. And then
Hmm.
I was hooked,
And that
and
was it.
then I started becoming, let's say, I was very amateur in the beginning, but in the beginning, I was like getting a lot of activity in the beginning because I was young and energetic, and then and
26-year-old.
Young and energetic.
I still am, but not as energetic as I was. Well,
Oh.
now since I've been doing it for officially, literally, what's cool? I should have mentioned this. Literally, when we were at the event, August 2021 is literally when I hit a decade in the paranormal. So I
10
hit a
years.
decade.
What
Literally
years?
around the time I was at the we were at the Conjuring House is when I finally hit that decade mark of
Matt,
investigating the paranormal.
you still are young and energetic compared to the rest of us. Hi, Carol. Hi, Tangi.
Not as energetic as Eric.
Well, no, Eric is energy personified. I did ask him to come on tonight, but I think he's still in Gettysburg or traveling. Um, I've heard you say, Matt, that you prefer a more scientific approach. Can you
Yeah, people
explain
don't
what
find
you
it too
mean by
entertaining.
that? Well, but explain the difference between that and what maybe the rest of us do. What do you mean by the scientific approach?
I don't use a lot of things that have a lot of false positives, like
Hmm.
SLS, Ovilus. You pretty much like half of the paranormal equipment out there. So it's
Okay.
and ITC the way that's being done. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just a lot of false positives. But I
Right.
put it in
Right.
the
Right.
film because it's a group of other individuals of different investigators, different ways and methods.
Right.
So I
Right.
mentioned that in the beginning of the film. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
accepted some of it, anything that was clear, even though I don't think it's like validated evidence. I just think it's
Hmm.
interesting when
Hmm.
something. I'm not going to say what happens, but you have to go watch the film if you want to see it.
Yes, you
But
have to go watch the film. He's not going to. Hi,
so
Claire. Yeah, so I understand. So basically, you are filming when you, let's say you're at a haunted location or an allegedly haunted location. You're filming what you're doing because I know you have the helmet cam that you wear, and then you're
love
just
it.
watching that back and listening to see if you heard anything. Do you use a digital recorder?
I like to use high quality audio. One thing I don't like about low quality audio is the
Hmm.
more false positives of that because low
Right.
quality audio creates whispery sounds, even when it's just movements, blah blah blah.
The
Like it,
mechanicals, yeah, the
yeah,
mechanicals from a
it,
lot of the recorders, yeah.
like when I was editing the Harrisville Haunting, like a lot of the Eric's recorders are lower quality. I had to edit around that because a lot of it I debunked when I reviewed back. I played it back and it had some whispery sounds whenever they did a movement or something like that. It sounded like a
Right,
whisper. But
clothing, your clothing,
it's just
yeah.
it's just low quality audio, so it made it sound like
Gotcha.
that.
So what do you use then?
I use either Tascam or Zoom, which are my two. I prefer those two brands when it comes to high quality audio. So if either one's fine, and there's some advantages that Tascam has, like it can record. It has you could put bigger SD cards in it, basically. But but a lot of the specs are very similar between the two, so it's not that much of a difference if you get like a Tascam DR40 or a Zoom H4n Pro.
Okay.
But they're pretty similar specs, so.
Yeah, I think I have one of those, and every time I've tried to use the Tascam, I think I have a. Where is it? It's a DR50. Is that one of them? I don't know why it's kind of complicated. I'm not all that adept.
DR50 is a good one.
Yeah, I have it. It's here somewhere.
It's also, you can differentiate sounds a lot better when it's high quality audio. Like I said, those clothing sounds, you easily when you listen back on that's just movement. It's like So that's one thing I don't like about the one thing that's popular in the paranormal field is the DR60, which is
that the is that the little silver one? The silver one,
Panasonic
that they sell for $1,000.
Yes, that is very trash audio, but and on top of that, it has, I believe, like a glitch in it to where it's making its own sounds. Because how many times have you heard it do the scream sound? Like all the time. You hear the same thing.
I know I know there are a lot of them that you have to discern. Well, first of all, if you're holding a digital recorder, that's no good. You have to put it down, but they record their own mechanicals. When I say the mechanicals, the workings of the recorder make a sound that can be discerned as something that it's not. So I get that.
I have a 360 digital recorder, so it records all the way around, which is nice, but also, oh my Lord, so much audio.
Forget it. If I put my microphone on Omni, I'm going to hear the birds at my neighbor's house. So, yeah, no. Hi, Ray.
Hi.
Ray? Well, I'm glad you're here, Ray. Do you know Joe and Matt?
I talked to Joe before, but not Matt. Hi, Matt.
Well, this is Matt Benton. another friend I've met just recently up in Rhode Island, and they are two of the four. Is it a 5-man team or a 4-man team?
It's more of 4. Levy came on the
here.
second night, but it was more of a debunking stuff is what I put in the film. So
4-man team.
Yeah, it was more of a 4-man team.
For the Harrisville haunting, here's my poster. And that's the premiere. I went to Rhode Island, but and Ray was jealous.
I was in Las Vegas.
He was in Vegas. Well, that's where they are now because that's where they live.
I know.
That's right. And so we're talking about why they got into the paranormal. So Matt and Joe, what drives you to keep doing it? We all know that most of the time you get nothing. Okay. We know that there's all that footage and then it ends up, and this is what we can share, right?
I'll be honest. I started to, the paranormal started to bore me a little bit until what spiked my interest again more was back in 2020 when I did an investigation with Patrick. That's what spiked it back up. And it's because I found out that he believes in attachment. I believe he's a PK case. But like it was the most insane activity I've ever witnessed in my whole life of the 10 years I've been doing this. Literally objects being thrown over and over and over and over again. And I never thought that I could ever see that in real life. It was like a movie, like how crazy active it was. And so after witnessing that, I was like, holy crap.
Well, who's Patrick?
He's from the haunted side, another YouTube channel.
Okay. Yep. I've heard of them. Yep.
And so basically either he has an ability of PK or he believes attachment. And and
Oh,
it's
okay.
and
You. Oh, get
it's
it.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You thought maybe
So
he was causing it because.
yeah, I think he's causing it because if you go look at most of his episodes, he has objects thrown around him, and so
So like subconsciously, you don't think it's like poltergeist activity. You think it's
that's
his
what
energy.
that's poltergeists are more associated with uh, people. So it's
Okay.
yeah. So
Mm.
basically, I believe he's a real poltergeist case,
Wow. Okay. That's
and
amazing.
yeah. So that actually kind of like because I thought I saw everything, almost
Mm-hmm.
everything, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
and except for possession, and then I finally deal with my own poltergeist case. That's what really brought it back, I should say, for my
Okay.
interest because I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, you can still get crazy activity like this because, like you said, it's like a lot of nothing for a long time. You get some small things there and there,
Yeah.
but then I got something big like that. It excited me
Well,
again.
stuff getting thrown at you, that's impressive. That's going to impress
Not just
anybody.
once, not just once though. It was like, not kidding you. I didn't really count, but probably 8 times in one night.
Wow.
That's insane. That's
And
that's like on another level because usually only it's very rare. Not with
yeah,
him. It's not rare with him. It's like common with him.
it's
So
got to have something to do with him. Joe, what about you? What keeps you going?
I have no freaking idea, to be honest. I have no idea. It's expensive.
It
It's
is expensive.
boring. And it's like,
It's not really that boring, guys. Keep
I've
watching.
been doing it for so long. It's like, it's hard to be surprised. It's like I go into a place, I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go again,
Mm-hmm,
kind of thing. I mean,
And yet here you are. You just did
I
a
know.
whole documentary that you're still working on. I know you're going to have plans for something else. Hi, Lazarus Project. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
I,
a lot of it too, though. I know there's a lot of people out there for various reasons who can't go out and investigate or go to the places that we go to,
right.
and I like sharing those experiences with them because they kind of just live vicarious through us. So
Uh-huh. Yes.
it kind of like gives them a chance to kind of be there. But
Yeah.
I got to stop doing this. But I also make sure that they get to see just how boring it really is.
yeah, I try. When I edited the whole film, I was trying to get all that boring stuff out.
Yeah, that was a have to.
Yeah, well, you have to boil it down,
Yeah.
and I mean, the reality is that human beings get bored very easily,
My thing,
and you
my
want them to
thing,
come back. You want them to watch what you're offering to them, but you have to make it interesting. And I think that's often why we end up with the other end of the spectrum where they're just pure entertainment. You know what I'm talking about? We won't talk
right.
about that. But, but the people that are really doing the work, who are serious about it. I mean, yeah, we joke around, but we're serious about it. We know that it's, 5 hours of recording, 12-minute video. That's the reality, So.
For me right now, I've always been interested in the psychological aspect, and that was something that at that point in time, experiencing that stuff in the home when I was growing up,
Mm,
I didn't realize at the time that this is
yeah.
basically a learning lesson because there's a psychological aspect to the paranormal that's not really
Mhm.
talked too much about. So I want to look more into the psychological aspect, and there's something else I want to look into, but I don't want to say it because I don't want somebody to take that idea
Well, then
and run
don't.
with it.
Then don't. But this when you say the psychological aspect, because the book that I'm writing right now, and Ray knows this. I've told him that I'm up to the last chapter that I need to write the last chapter, and the last chapter is going to be about. Yes, the whole book is about my life's experiences, but the last chapter is going to be about why people in the medical field might think there's something wrong with me as opposed to me having paranormal experiences. Is that what you're talking about?
So
It's more of it's a kind of like an umbrella term. There, what I said. Yeah, so that as well as you mentioned, but also the effects that it has. True paranormal phenomena. The effects
Mm,
it can have on
no,
individuals as well.
sure.
Uh, Most people who encounter, like, we'll say, a demonic entity, um, their families are split up. Divorce happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 99% of the time that happens.
But that's
There's
a
lot
rare
of
thing. That's a very rare thing. That's a
Right.
rare thing. You know?
Right.
But
There's a lot of damage that's done before anything is actually done about it. The damage is already done. Also, you know, and I know Matt's into this as well. You know, certain people, certain type of people, you know, their energies. Can that help ramp up paranormal activity? That was probably what you were going to say.
yeah, basically, I believe there's personality types that I've noticed personality types that have caused more activity than others. So it's usually the newer people and also the people that are very afraid that cause more activity. Those are the two
Okay.
personality types I look for. And I
Well-
started to notice that the longer I was doing it. And then on top of that, when I started doing Man versus Paranormal, where I got locked into 4 different buildings by myself for 3 days.
Mhm.
Actually, sorry, one of them was cut short. So basically, during that experience, I noticed like your brain is way more powerful than people think. Your psychological mindset, and so when I was going through that, I noticed, especially House of Wills, when I was with some individuals that were very afraid of the House of Wills, I was experiencing a little bit of paranormal activity, just small stuff. But we were both experiencing some things, some weird energies and stuff like that.
Now, what is
Also,
what's the House of Wills? What's that?
it's in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And then literally when those 2 individuals left, nothing. Because this is the 4th time I've done this.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, I was completely numb to it and being by myself. And so I had literally absolutely zero fear at all. And there's zero paranormal activity that took place at the House of Wills. And I've reviewed the evidence too, is zero. And which was weird because when I had other individuals that were very afraid of the place, we were having like small experiences there and there. And it was a completely different story when they left. And then same with other locations. Like if I go with just Joe, since Joe and I are both not afraid of it, we pretty much get nothing most of the time. So
do you think that's a lot like, you know, the lion can smell fear? Do you think that they are an easy target?
I think it's it broke up on my end.
Yeah, it froze up on my end too.
Oh yeah, you guys are frozen, but I can still hear you.
We'll come
I
back
can
soon,
still
hopefully.
hear you. Oh, they can't hear me. Oh, yeah, the internet is
Okay.
All right, there we go.
It's back. Okay. So actually, I believe it's more associated with people itself, not an external entity, most of the time, personally.
There are the exceptions, though. Yeah, Matt and I, we can't, like, if we go somewhere, we're probably not going to get any. We'll be lucky if him and I get something because we go in there, it's like, no fear. But, you know, split us up and give us different people to work with, then that probably a different story.
It's part of the reason why I brought Eric. Part of the reason why I brought Eric is to hopefully get produce more activity.
Eric?
Yeah, for the Harrisville hunting.
Why? He's not afraid.
He has a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he gets psyched out about when things happen.
He gets very excited. Hi, Sarah. How are
I'm
you?
not trying to take anything away from Eric. I promise.
Eric is great. We
love
love Eric. Eric from Epic Paranormal TV. If you don't follow him, you should. He's marvelous.
And his hunters also his belief in it too. Like he has a strong belief in it. Also, I believe that's a factor too. His belief system. So
right. Well, like I said, we all come at it from different. Sometimes we come at it from different angles and different places and different lives. You know, every different angle, as long as you're honest, is valid. You know, if you're pure of heart and honest in your attempts to try to contact entities or those on the other side, then I don't have any problem with how you do it, as long as you're honest about it. That's so I can't invalidate anybody. But yeah, so well, that's very, very cool. Ray, how you doing?
I'm okay.
You okay?
I'm here.
Okay. I'm glad you joined us. And we have a couple of other guests that are supposed to be coming, so we're just waiting. One of them her computer crashed, so waiting for her to hopefully get the computer back up and just waiting for them to come. But let me see if I had any other questions I want. Oh yeah, this is so I wanted to ask you guys about your process. So, Joe, Matt, your process as far as paranormal, has it changed? Like the way you started, has it changed dramatically from when you first started doing this?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dramatically.
dramatically.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
night and day difference.
Yeah. So, how did you
Yeah,
start?
I
How
barely
did you-
recognized myself in the old days.
I
Yeah.
Investigating.
I don't think mine has changed dramatically, to be honest.
Mhm.
I mean, I was with a really good team, and we come into that time where digital cameras started to become a thing. You get
Oh.
little orbs and stuff like that.
Orbs.
And
Oh.
there are things where I can look back on and say, yeah, I don't think I would investigate something like they did. I'd do it differently, or the
Mhm.
way I the approach and what I guess you could say believe or whatever
Mhm.
is different.
Okay.
But
And
being in the team itself, when I first got in the team, yeah, there was a change night and day. Like I was saying earlier,
Mhm.
being put in that position of, oh, everything's a demon, it's scaring the
Oh,
hell out of me.
yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
anymore.
No,
Unmute yourself.
up, oops, we lost Matt. But can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh,
I can.
okay.
He's-
I lost.
He's
We
still
lost.
here.
We lost Matt. Yeah, that always interests me because I look back at my early videos, which I have many a moment where I just want to delete them all. and and then I think, no, don't do that. It shows a journey, as awful as I looked and as much as I missed because I didn't know what I was doing, and as awful as I looked, I want to delete them right off my YouTube channel. Like, but I don't.
It's
I
growth.
I know, and that's it, and the one thing that I've always believed is that if as long as we're always willing to learn, if you stop learning, then you're not very intelligent. If you're intelligent, you're always learning. So I look back at it, and there's only 2 of them that I privated. Because it's like, oh, I don't want anybody to see that now.
My first documentary I privated.
I mean, you can take just so much of yourself. Hey, Divine Diamond. Hi, everybody. So, everybody in chat, while we are talking about this is very interesting stuff, guys, and I really appreciate you. This is what I want to ask, like every paranormal investigator that I meet. So it's really a pleasure for me to get to ask you guys these questions. But I wonder if anybody in chat has questions along the same lines for anybody up here. Let us know, Matt and Joe, and of course Ray. Ray,
Wow.
my
Yeah.
good buddy. How did you start getting involved in the paranormal? Well, we're waiting to see if anybody has any questions.
How did I start?
Yeah, what got you? I mean, we've been doing this together now for a couple of years, and what got you
Yeah.
started in the paranormal?
I guess YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, I've had experiences before that. It's just I didn't start pursuing it until
Yeah.
probably Order of Magnitude video.
And that's
Or maybe in Mortis.
interesting that you should mention that because, as you know, and if you watch on my channel, guys, my Why Do I Talk to the Dead intro video, it kind of tells my whole life story and my paranormal experiences that started when I was 5 years old. But it wasn't until like 5.5, almost 6 years ago when I discovered people on YouTube. Well, I probably discovered YouTube then. All right. Some of us are, slow, and discovered Order of Magnitude and his videos. That is so funny you should say that, because he was like the first one that I ever started watching. I'm like, what is this British man doing with his radio?
And then I thought, if this soulless ginger can do it, I can.
You're so funny. But that is what got me. Actually, I never realized in my whole life of going through the things that I've gone through that there was any way to quantify it to possibly show somebody else what is happening. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that there was a community of people who believed in this theory, and that's what it is. It's a theory that we can contact entities or possibly people who have passed. It's a theory, which means it's not proven, it's not disproven yet. But I never realized it existed. And so I bought my first little radio. I bought a SB7. And I started, sitting on my couch and trying to do these sessions. That's how I started. Very basic.
For anybody who's getting started, I always tell them you don't need much of anything. You gotta, you can go to the store, buy a decent quality digital recorder. Use your cell phone. You don't have to have, like all this crazy equipment and stuff like that we have. I mean, we have it for a reason because we also do production as well.
Right.
But Miranda Ghost Biker Exploration, she films her stuff on a freaking iPhone and throws it out there. You would never ever know.
I film most of my stuff on my iPhone these days too, because I went out and I bought an expensive camera. Actually, I started with a Nikon, and then the Nikon did that Nikon thing where it breaks. Yeah. So I replaced it with another Nikon, and it ended up doing that Nikon thing.
Canon.
Sorry, Nikon.
Well, right now, Sony.
So I went and bought a very expensive DSLR, which I love, but it weighs a ton. So now I use my iPhone. I mean, you can't beat it. Oh my goodness.
It's convenient.
Yeah, and it's convenient, and it takes. And I don't even have a 12 yet. I still have a 10. So,
an emu? What?
Oh, stop that! Oh my gosh! All right, let's look at some people's comments here while we're waiting to see if the Holties come. I got into paranormal in '95 after my sister died, and she came to me and said, "Next time I see her, oh my goodness, Steven, that's you, isn't it? That would get you interested in it. That's very interesting. Oh no! All right, this whole emu thing. I hope you guys don't understand, but my husband and I trucked out to Michigan to hang out with Ray and his wife, and we were driving past a field, and he's driving, and he goes, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's an emu in the field," and I'm like,
"Did you say Michigan?"
Michigan, yes, we went out to Michigan. Yes, we did.
Born, raised Michigan, Southeast Michigan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yep, that's right.
I grew up in Royal Oak.
I was Riverview, Flat Rock. Used to go to Bob Lowe all the time.
Oh, now if anybody has any questions for Matt or Joe or Ray, put them in chat and I'll bring them up.
Or Cynthia.
Oh, or Cynthia. This is Cassie. Now we all know Cassie, right? Oracles and Beyond. I started watching Ghost Hunters years ago. That sparked me. And I'm trying to remember if that was one of the good.
At least she can admit that, because a lot of people, when you talk to them, it's like, oh, we'll get you into the paranormal. It's like, oh, I've been doing, experiencing stuff forever and just decided one day to do it. But It's like, you mean you watch Ghost Hunters, which is fine. If that's what got people into it, that's right. Absolutely fine.
Oh, I've got the.
Some people just don't own that.
I've got Katie and Steve Holty in the background here, so I'm going to bring them on.
Yay!
Hey guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Guys, I don't know if you all know each other, Joe and Matt. This is Steve and Katie Holty. Ray, I believe you know. Steve and Katie. Joe and Matt and two other fellas just dropped their documentary 2 weeks ago, the Harrisville haunting, the real
Yeah,
Conjuring
I
house.
want to check that out. I actually want to check that out.
I think Scare Network, is it on Scare Network now?
It will be soon. I'm working on that version right now.
Okay, is it still on Paraflix?
Yes.
Okay, so it's still on.
That version is going to be replaced too because of
Okay.
copyright things.
Well, you know, we all have to do.
Brothers.
But I'm so glad that you guys are here. I have so many questions to ask you. So thanks for joining us.
Rebooted like 10 minutes before the show.
Yeah, we could have been on time, but it was doing updates.
That's okay. Isn't that the way? Oh Lord, I always turn mine on like a half hour before. I'm like, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it to me?
Yeah,
Not
Windows
tonight.
update pops up randomly.
But I have to say, Kate. Now, Steve is. I consider you like. Oh, who was that? Who's that? Who is that?
Kids.
Okay.
I want to be in the shot.
She keeps finding herself in the shot.
Steve Holte, I consider you like OG ghost box creator. You have been making ghost boxes for a very long time, right?
It's been a while, yeah. I've been doing this for a while, yeah.
And you knew Frank Sumption personally, or yes?
I used to talk to him every day.
Right. So Frank Sumption, if you guys don't know, was like the original ghost box builder. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but I look at you as his heir apparent, really. And I believe you used to, when I started trying to figure out how to hack radios, because I don't do anything near what you guys do, but hack radios, I'm pretty sure you had a website up that had a page that described how to hack a couple or three different kinds of radio. I couldn't. I looked for it today. I'm like, I can't find it, but that's how I learned how to hack 3 of the radios I know how to hack was from your website page.
Yeah, you could actually go to steveholte.com. It's an old website. It looks like it's from the 1980s.
It's retro.
But it does have all the information. It is still there.
So, that's how I learned. I think that's how I learned how to do the 587, and I can't remember what up, but that is how I learned.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on there.
And of course, I have my favorite radio now that Katie made for me, that you guys were all probably familiar with.
That's a good radio.
I love this radio. I love it. I love it so much that I didn't take it to Rhode Island with me.
Why?
Because I didn't want to break it. I was afraid. I just grabbed a 587. I'm like, no, I need another one. I need a traveling one.
There you go.
But I wanted to ask you, because I, from my experience, I know you've been doing this, and I can say a long time. But how long? What got you started in the paranormal and building ghost box radios?
Well, I was doing traditional EVP. That's how I started. And I started working with that, and then I heard there was something else out there. You know, I mean, I always like ghosts and stuff. I mean, everybody says that. Oh, I've been doing this since I was 7. Well, no, you really haven't. You know, you were interested since you were 7. But
right.
You know, but you know, when it came time to actually start doing something, I started doing this actually in 2006, 2005, 2006. So it's not been that long. What I wanted to do, I started with EVPs and I tried all the different methods there. I had a parabolic mic and I had the recorders, and I was going over stuff, and I'm like, it's got to be something better than this. I mean, it was interesting, but you know, all the ghost shows were coming out, and that was exciting to watch the ghost shows and seeing what they were using. And
right.
So then I saw that there was somebody coming to Eastern State Penitentiary doing an event. And they have a Frank's box. I said, what the hell is a Frank's box? And they said, oh, well, it scans radio frequencies, whatever. It's two-way conversation with the other side. And I said, no, come on. This doesn't exist. So I paid the money. I went to the event. And sure enough, I had a really good event. And listening to it, I said, there's something to this. So I got in touch with, a guy named Joe Ciappi. And he was already into the paranormal, and he says, I heard that Frank's box thing. I'm making an FM version of it, being that Frank only did like AM versions at the time. So he says, I'm doing an FM version. I'm going to start to work on it. You want to work on it with me? I said, sure, yeah. This was early 2007. So, I worked with him. He lived in Pennsylvania. I went down there to his house every weekend. And it was like an hour and a half drive. Mm-hmm. And we would discuss it, talk about stuff, and just really go over, stuff that I've read, stuff that I researched, stuff that I wanted to incorporate into his version of it. And then when we finally came out with it, Frank Sumption contacted me, and he says, nobody's doing this other than me. You're the first person that I saw put out another device. He says, you want to try my device out too to compare them? And I said, sure. Yes, yours. Wow. So he did. So he sent me Frank's box number 13. It was the first one I ever got. And and I did it in comparison to what I was working on at the time. So I kind of was going my direction. Frank was going his direction. And that's what got us starting to talk every day. And I said, hey, we're trying this. And he says, I'm trying this. And it was a bunch of back and forth technical stuff, Yeah. I loved it.
Well, you have so much technical ability, both you and Katie. I mean, I looked at your posts on Facebook, and you do the dreaded soldering, which I have to tell you, I tried.
Soldering iron.
I tried, okay? And what I found with soldering is that when you go to solder a thing, it's really easy to unsolder everything else that's next to it. So I gave up soldering. Yeah, that's how soldering goes for me.
I've soldered in like 2 days, and I feel like I'm getting the shakes.
Oh my Lord. I have to give you guys credit for doing all that. So, but you must have had some sort of electronics training or something before. Like
no, I know I haven't. No.
You did. I mean, you guys open up these radios and you just like attach stuff and rewire it. And how did you figure out how to do that? That's amazing.
You learn as you go, Yeah. You learn as you go.
The stuff
it's impressive.
Purely tunnel vision based on the project. So I don't have electronics, computers, those kind of things there's such a large subject matter that you can't do everything. So I try to know what I need to know very well, for what I need to do.
She went a different direction than I did. I did the radios. I still do the radios. I branch off here and there, but I'm completely analog. She did the computer stuff, and she does the computer stuff now. That is way over my head. I don't even know anything about computer, stuff that she does. It blows my mind. There is definitely a potential you could do so much more with that too.
Really?
So I could probably learn that.
But there's, I think for the future, we need to be, I don't know how to say it. Critical, maybe utilize critical thinking skills, because in the digital realm, there can be a lot of trickery. So I think that the reputation of the builder is going to matter a lot in the future.
Right. So when you say computer, you mean
just digital stuff,
digital
microcontrollers, microcontrollers, like Arduino, Teensy. I use Teensies.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when you have a radio that it's just scanning the airwaves, I think it's a lot harder. The main way I see of people using trickery is like jump cutting. Like they hear something, they save that clip, then they go back, they film themselves asking a question, and then boom, there's that answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is
bad. That's bad practice. I don't know.
Of course.
Who's doing that, but that's bad.
Well, we all know who used to. He who shall not be named. But yeah, Voldemort. But that's part of the reason why a lot of us consider ourselves very boring and our videos boring, is because we're trying so hard to not appear to be doing that. And so we will show a whole session, and as you well know, most of the time you get nothing. We discussed this before, and maybe you'll get a little bit of something, and you want to show that little bit of something, but if you just cut and show your little bits of something, you look like somebody who's faking it, So it's a balancing act.
I hate when I'm not recording and something great comes through.
Well, we all do, don't we? It's like, damn, why don't I have a camera permanently mounted on my head?
Right, we were recording
I got my helmet for a reason.
Have you? I don't know if you guys have seen Matt's helmet.
No.
Does he have a camera on his helmet, hat? You do?
Oh, he
Yep.
does.
Did it? Did you make it?
I
Wait, let
designed
me
the whole
see
thing.
if I can. Let me see if I can show it to you. I will show you what we're. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this screen share thing again, which is never good. But hang on. Oh, you don't have it on in this picture. Darn. Okay, you'll have to show it yourself.
I got you.
He has an entire regalia that he wears the entire time he's investigating. So
Yep.
it's a rare thing for Matt to miss anything if there's anything to miss. And he will have to show you.
I do that for a reason.
I already want one. I don't have to see it, but
Yeah.
She already wants one. I could see you. I could see you in one.
You're gonna
Can you-
join my para helmet cult.
Who's the
Oh.
guitar player? I see guitar players. I see guitars in the background.
Is
Fine.
Joe, that's yours?
Oh yeah, Joe's a guitar player.
I have a
Nice.
6-string bass. I got a 6-string. It needs work. I have a 6-string ESP. I got the 8-string Monster, and then I got the Ernie Ball Music Man.
They're basses?
No, only one of them is.
Oh, okay.
I have a 6-string bass. The rest are all guitars.
He's a music man.
Yeah, I played a
I
little bit.
have
I
a-
don't know
I have a
what I would do
1984
with an extra two strings on a bass player. That would probably confuse
Oh,
me.
you're not wearing it on this poster either, Matt. I don't
I
have
got
a
it.
picture of you.
I
Oh,
got
okay.
it. I
Can
got
you
it,
share?
Tyler.
Can you share it?
I could send it to you real quick.
Oh, can you share it here or no?
I can if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
I think you should be able to. If I set up StreamYard right.
Here.
Oh.
Here we go. It's below.
Oh, okay. Hang on. There it is.
Oh,
wow.
Is that impressive or what? He doesn't miss a trick.
yeah.
It's
It's
got
like
a
you're
camera.
part of the National Guard or something. I don't know.
What is all involved? The front thing is a camera. What's the thing in the back? A recorder?
Okay, so this is a battery pack in the back. This is IR lights. This is a Zoom Q2N, which has been modified to be full spectrum. And then I have a normal light on this side. Actually, I have more photos actually of.
That's pretty badass.
Did
Man.
you-
It's very badass. Look at
There's
that.
another
There you
photo.
go. Look at him. And he's got a dead light.
The best IR light in the business. But here's another thing though about it though is that I have dead light. Josh is building a custom IR setup for this helmet, so it's only going to be one in existence.
Oh
Wow.
my
Look
Lord.
at you.
Yeah,
You're
so we do audio, man. You know,
Look at
I never dabbled into video at all. So
No.
I would
Yeah.
love to do that.
That's amazing though. I mean, how much does that helmet weigh?
It weighs a little bit, but not too bad.
Not too good. Not yet.
Yeah. So this is the whole
You don't
setup.
hold anything.
That's his thing. That's Matt's thing, man. He doesn't miss anything with that on.
Yep, great audio too. The Q2N.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
4K quality too. So
I'm guessing you use it at the Conjuring house because I saw it in the background.
yep.
Oh.
For not in the very beginning because I didn't have it yet, but later during the end I created it. So then I did use it when I went back.
Yeah, you had it on most of the day, as I recall.
Oh
Although
yeah,
it
yeah.
Must
I'm
get
talking about in
pretty
the
warm.
film. In the film, it was towards
Oh, in
the
the
end
film.
Of
Oh,
yeah, it was towards the end of the film when I created it. So
excuse me. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Very
Hey,
cool.
Hey, Joe, look what I got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What flavor?
Red
Red
Top.
Top?
What is that?
It must be a Michigan thing.
It
It's
is
a Detroit thing.
Michigan, Ohio, and Ohio. I don't know about
Yeah, we were just at Detroit.
There you go, Red Top.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
The Insane Clown Posse really made that drink popular.
Oh, here. This is a good. Here you go, Matt.
I know I just saw that. Pimped out my helmet coming this fall on Netflix.
I'm telling you, man, you were built for a miniseries. Honestly, And here's Derek, Special Forces. Look out.
So
Oh, yeah.
who's from
That-
Detroit?
That is kind of what it looks like. Very, very Special Forces.
Well, I'm really into
Me and
military
Joe,
stuff,
Pete.
so
Okay.
that's
Yeah, we were just. You mentioned Detroit. We were just out in Detroit at the 6th precinct out there.
Yeah.
So we did that a couple weeks ago. That was a great event or whatever. So
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Oh,
I
my
wish I would have known. I would have came down.
yeah, if I known, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it a paranormal thing or
It was
no?
paranormal. Yeah, Katie
Yeah,
Stafford was
so
there, and
Detroit Police
Oh,
Station.
wow.
there was a bunch of people there, and we did. It was like an all-day event, investigation at all day long.
Oh, nice.
It was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. You know,
That's
driving wasn't fun. 10 hours plus getting out there, but other than that, it was pretty good.
The majority of my stuff I did in the paranormal were residential in the early days. Most of them were in Wyandotte, Michigan. I don't know why, but most of them were within the Wyandotte area next to the Detroit River.
Wow. So you used to go to people's homes and investigate if they had.
Yeah,
I give you credit for doing
at that
that.
point in time, I had never been to one of these big locations, but these big locations weren't around back then. It wasn't until 2016 when I actually stepped foot. No, I take that back. It was 2004, 13, something like that. I don't remember. It was Post Town. It was actually Post Town Elementary School. Was the first time I actually went
That's
to
a
an
big
actual
one.
location.
Yeah, that's
then
where
it was,
Eric is a lot.
And then it was Waverly Hills.
Oh,
Nah, I
don't want to
haven't.
get there on my bucket list.
I haven't gone to those places yet. Ray and I bought tickets 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago, for Rolling Hills, and stuff happened,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we still have to. We got to
still
book
do
it before
that.
we lose our tickets. So I think we have a couple of months left to.
Rolling Hills, you're in New York, aren't you?
I am, but that's up Western New York.
How far is that from you? Is it
Oh
far?
gosh, it's probably gonna be 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, I think it's like 5-6 hours from
So
here
like
in New Jersey.
Yeah,
7
New
miles.
York is big.
Yeah.
What's this? I had a dream that I was doing a paranormal search in an old house and hear my granddad say "darling" to me through a speaker. Could it mean something? It could. Could be your grandfather. I mean, that's very cool. That's very interesting. Hi, Simmons. Thank you for that. Hi, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. But yeah, we have to do that. I'm looking forward to that. But I hear about all these places that people have gone and haven't gone to a lot of those places. It's just been me, basically. For the first 2.5 years, I just didn't even consider other people and doing it with other people. And then I got to know Ray, and we've gone now. This will be our 4th year going to Gettysburg. So looking forward to that. We're going to
You
Gettysburg.
didn't go over the weekend to the Gettysburg Bash?
Eric was there. Eric and Sean Austin.
Now,
two
Eric
other.
is from Epic Paranormal.
Yes, and he was there. He was there for the bash, and he did some live streams. He and Sean did some live streams from there, and I love Eric. He's a doll.
He's got good energy. He's high energy.
You.
I wish I had it.
Nah, well, I had it about 35 years ago, and I remember it fondly. I remember it fondly. But I was skinny then too. Wow, those were good years. But
He's way over time.
he's a doll. But I know that we're talking about myself and Dory, and actually your friend Levy. We're talking about going to Letchworth Village. So kind of excited about that because I haven't. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And I have my own memories of Letchworth Village from having to walk through it when it was open when I was a child, when I was on a walk for muscular dystrophy. And that was the end of the 26 miles or 20 miles or whatever we'd walk. And they made us walk through Letchworth Village, and it was open. And
they
it was
made you walk with like
that was the end. You had it was the last mile or two, whatever, included walking through Letchworth Village.
Crazy.
I kid you not. This was a thing. We used to hold on to each other. It was it was a little frightening. Yeah. So anyway, I have those memories, so it'll be a little weird to go back, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. So, and yeah.
Now, where is this village?
It is in Rockland County, I believe, in Rockland County in New York. And I actually lived in Rockland County when we moved out of the Bronx. And so this was a thing. My mother got involved with this charity and she was like, oh, you got to do this walk. And so for like 2-3 years in a row, I did the walk. And
You ever go to Sleepy Hollow?
well, I actually used to hang out at a bar in Sleepy Hollow when I was single. Yeah. Really
There we
good
go.
bar.
Somebody's admitting they're a partier.
But
So you're really
Wow.
dealing with spirits.
so long ago.
Yeah,
But
a lot of spirits.
Lots of spirits going on there.
Yeah, I haven't done anything paranormal wise in Sleepy Hollow. I haven't been back there in years. I mean, it's just down county from me, but
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while. But
Yeah, I've never gotten out there.
yeah, I
I
don't
heard it's
know.
beautiful out there in the fall, especially in the fall. I
Oh
heard it's
my
beautiful out
gosh.
there, Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow used to be called North Tarrytown. When I was hanging out there, it was just North Tarrytown. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're known for the Headless Horseman. Let's change our name and get some cred here. And they
Yeah,
did. They got it
Bringing
changed.
some tourism. Yep.
That's because the writer's buried in the cemetery, isn't he? The guy that wrote Sleepy Hollow? I think
That's a good
he's
question.
buried in the cemetery.
I don't know.
I think that's where that thing came from. I don't know. I
Mm.
could be wrong, but I think that's where it came from.
It's a nice town. When I was hanging out there, there were 35 bars in a 4-block area.
Sounds good to me. Little bar crawl.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in North Tarrytown. But those were the olden days. Now I'm a grown up now. Doing the paranormal and losing my voice, apparently. Erg. Sorry. Anyway, so the last thing that I had some general questions that I wanted to ask everybody. Favorite investigation. Joe, favorite investigation.
Favorite investigation. The Conjuring House is definitely one of them. But I'm going to have to say, too, that an investigation, I've been on many investigations at Hales Bar Dam, but there was one in particular that was just solid, like unbelievable.
And where's that?
Hales Bar Dam, Tennessee, south of Chattanooga.
And it's a dam.
Hales Bar Dam.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. Matt, how about you? Favorite investigation?
Lasson County Hospital, Mackey Mansion, Conjuring House. I can't really choose between those three, like
And-
because they're all special in its own ways, and
Okay.
so I like I said, Lasson County Hospital thing I think is more Patrick than the location, but
right.
so there's that one. But when it comes to location, Mackey Mansion and the Conjuring House, I would have to choose when it comes to location, because Mackey Mansion, Conjuring House are extremely active. And I don't believe it's only associated with the person. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, Katie, favorite radio of all of them.
Favorite radio?
Of all of them, you've made so many of all of them. What's your favorite? The one that you would never give away.
I was already ready to say favorite location.
Oh, you can tell me that next.
I guess
can tell me that next.
Child.
Yeah.
Favorite dog.
Well, my favorite box of all time is Frank's box number 39. Has always been my go-to box.
But out of the ones that you've made.
And the ones that I've made, yeah, probably an RCA Super Radio.
Okay.
It gets the best reception. It sounds the best. It
Okay.
doesn't look fancy.
Right.
But
I
I
know what
don't
you're
really
talking
care
about.
about that. I just care about what comes through and the conversations that I can have back and forth, and that really does it for me. It's the RCA Ghost Box, I'd say, is probably the best. And I added the bandwidth adjustment on there now, so you could actually dial it down. Like if you're in certain areas, you want to cut out certain part of the band because you're not getting anything, and you just want to focus on the stuff that you are getting, you could actually adjust that.
Just so talented. And what's your favorite location?
I think Eastern State was probably because I'm big on locations. I like history, so I'm a big history buff. And Eastern State definitely has a lot of history. Fort Mifflin also was very good for me. There's a lot of history at Fort Mifflin as well.
Where's that?
In Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Very
They call
cool.
it the fort that saved America. It was the one that
Nice.
Revolutionary War times.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. It's really old and really cool.
Very cool. I'm hoping to go. I'm going to Lake George in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping to go to Fort Ticonderoga.
I've been to Lake George. I love Lake George. Yeah.
I love Lake George. Ray,
Yo,
favorite location? You more than me.
Ohio State Penitentiary.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But I love being in Gettysburg.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there soon, and
I know.
the folks
That's
from
gonna be
Three
so
Souls.
cool.
The folks from Three Souls are meeting us there, so that will be fun. That will be a fun collaboration. So next question, bucket list
Wait.
investigation.
What's your favorite place?
Yeah.
I haven't gone very many places.
Do you have a favorite place?
So I'm interviewing all the people that have, because I haven't. I haven't gone to that many places.
There's still one that has to stand out. Come on now.
I would say the coolest so far has been the Conjuring House, although I do love Gettysburg as well. But like I said, I haven't gone that many places, so I have many to go. What guys is your bucket list investigation? If you could go anywhere to investigate, where would you go?
Yeah, Waverly Hills for me, for sure.
Waverly Hills. Okay. Matt,
Poveglia Island,
where's that?
and it's in Italy.
Oh,
Venice.
Oh, nice.
It's literally an island of death.
Oh, nice. Joe, how about you? Where would you go?
I don't know. I hit my bucket list already.
Yeah. Well, bless your heart.
I'm gonna make a new one. Okay. So the only thing left on my bucket list is
New
the
one.
house, waiting house, and the probably the Winchester house. I'm interested in that.
Oh,
I just like
yeah.
Good one, yeah.
doing two though.
Oh yeah, another one on the list is Chernobyl.
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 Yeah.
Nice.
Ay.
Oh, yeah.
Take care, Tangi. Thank you for coming.
Forest in Japan, where right? Is there a forest in Japan?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I forget the name of it.
Oh, we all forget the name of it,
Yeah.
but I know exactly what you're talking about. Ray, what's your bucket list place?
I want to go back to the Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Another one. That's another good one.
Yeah.
I went there. I had a lot of cool experiences, but I fell asleep in the poltergeist room. That was our room where stuff disappears and then comes back later, like after you're gone. I fell asleep, so I gotta go back.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been talking about going there. I think my bucket list place would be the catacombs.
Oh yeah, was that in Paris? Is that where it is?
Is it Paris or is it Rome?
Yes, it is. It's Paris.
It's Paris.
Yeah.
I would like very much to go there.
The only problem I have with it is that I'm afraid of getting lost in it, because there's actually people that take away like markers for people that want to try. And so I'm like, no, thank you.
That's not right.
I know,
But I would love to see them. I would.
Yeah.
I would love to see the catacombs. So maybe
And they
one day.
Seattle also, where you can go under the town. Don't they have underground tunnels under Seattle?
Yeah, except the tunnels are so big that you could get lost in them. They're literally miles and miles and miles and miles.
That's pretty cool too. They actually, it was like the old Seattle because that's where it burned down or something. That's the story.
Wow. And I have zero sense of direction. Like literally No, I mean,
Yeah.
like I was going somewhere with a friend one time and she said, "You're going the wrong way." And I pulled off into a parking lot. I turned around, I came out and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I turned around, I was going the wrong way." She said, "You pulled out going exactly the same way we were going. We're still going the wrong way." It's very bad. I get lost in a paper bag. So yeah, catacombs, I'd have to like tie a rope to myself. You never see me again.
Breadcrumbs or something, you know?
Yeah, I
you
was
should
very
not.
happy.
You should not go in the catacombs. Then.
Yeah, stay away.
There you go.
I think so. Well, maybe I'll in a little way where I can still see the way out. You know, just so I just
Take a peek.
If I was
so
going
I
in
can
there, I
see.
would want to see the word because they have a lot of skeletons in there. I would like.
I
to go
would
in that area.
love to see the catacombs. This is good. I grew up in Southern California. I got to see the Spruce Goose and Queen Mary. Has anybody been to?
Yeah, that's another good one.
That's another good one. I've heard about. I would love to go to the
I would love to
Queen
do
Mary.
a ship. I've never done one before.
Well, we're talking about
Uh-huh.
going back to Star of India and Steam Ferry Berkeley. So
Nice.
so,
Sunday brunch on the Queen Mary. How? Oh,
That's
my only issue with doing Queen Mary is because
How
there's a lot of
cool
people
is-
still on the ship, and I like no contamination. That's why Star of India and Steam Ferry
Right.
Berkeley, there's literally no one on the ship, and you get it all to yourself.
Oh, I like
I'm-
this one. That's
Josh,
good.
I've been there. I've been there 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a real place?
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah. That's a
Oh,
real.
okay. That's where they. Okay.
Yeah, that's where
I
they
got
filmed it.
Oh my goodness.
I had
That's
a lot of experiences there. That place is trippy.
oh really?
Yeah,
See, you
it's
guys
really
have been to so many places and I haven't. What's Leap Castle Elemental?
Oh, that's yeah. Well, these people are that's in Ireland.
Oh, I'd love to go to Ireland. I want to take.
Look at
That's
You
your
just changed your accent
change.
for that.
Ah.
I just said that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Hey,
married.
I did the same thing. I did
I'm
the same
married
thing
to.
when I was doing voiceover, my old voiceover stuff, 2015 or something, or no, I forgot what year it was, 2014. And I was doing a voiceover for Mac Mansion, but John Mackey was from Dublin, Ireland, and I changed my accent in the voiceover. It's funny.
I'm married to an Irish American, and we have friends, of course, who are really Irish, and often I have to watch their lips to understand what they're saying, even though they're speaking English.
He's
I
trying
want-
hard
I
not to
would-
lapse into that accent again.
Ghost of Knight Templars. Oh, Scotland. Oh, castles in Scotland.
Everything is so old over there. Anything
Oh.
would probably be good. I mean,
Yeah.
and yeah, you have all the popular places, but I'm sure that they're all equally,
Right.
you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what a great trip would that be? Oh, Dory, the River Monsters guy was it? Jeremy Wade. I missed what that was, but Jenny Wade House, I think, is something we should think about doing. We have to think about what
I got great stuff with the Ghost Box in the Jenny Wade House.
Jenny
I
Wade
think
House.
it was 2007, 2008. I did a thing there, and I got great communication.
We've
Yeah.
never, I've never gone in. I know Ray has. Ray, you've been in
Yeah.
the Jenny Wade House. I've
Yeah,
only
for sure.
walked by the Jenny Wade House every time I've gone to Gettysburg and said, "Look at the Jenny Wade House. We're out of time. We got to go home." Every freaking time, you know.
Yeah, it's not all that big in there. It's small. It's
Yeah.
a small little house, but yeah, it's very active.
What's this? Andrew, you've been everywhere. I've been to the Mineral Springs Mall in Alton, Illinois, Malvern Manor, and the Goldenrod Showboat before it was torched and burned down. Oh my goodness. And why have I heard of Malvern Manor? Why have I heard of that? What is
That's a
that?
popular location.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes, Fort Ticonderoga. We're going up to Lake George for the Adirondack Nationals because if you follow me at all, you know we're all about cars and trucks and racing cars and trucks in my family. So we're going to the Adirondack National Car Show. And I said, well, we're going to take a side trip and we are going to go to Fort Ticonderoga, which of course is not the original Fort Ticonderoga. It was demolished. They rebuilt it, but they rebuilt it painstakingly to make it match the old fort. And I love when you're on top of the fort and looking at Champlain and the Hudson and the rivers coming together. It's just a magnificent
The racing, you do drag racing, or is it
No, my husband races circle track.
Okay.
Short track. He raced cars for years now. He's actually built a pickup truck racing team, and he's actually fathering a class at a track. And so, yeah, we're
And
all
he
about
buys
that.
trucks at an alarming rate.
Oh, no comment. Yeah, we're all about the racing in our family. So
Every time I see him, he's like, "Hey, I bought another truck."
And often that's the first time I hear about it is when he tells Dr. Ray. He's like, "Oh, Ray, guess what?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, what's going to show up in my driveway?"
And the look on her face is the same every time.
Yeah.
That means you could buy something for Paranormal.
Oh no, it's all about Oh no, but he does. He lets me get the things that I want, so that when the next vehicle shows up in the driveway, I don't jump out a window.
Yeah, he's not wanting for ghost stuff that he buys her. So it's like softening the blow, It's cute. It works out though.
The post office in Chicago sits on top of the old H.H. Holmes
Yeah,
murder castle.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a
stuff there.
Castle with a post office on top, or is the castle?
Well, the murder castle, they burned it down, and now it's a post office. And he was the first ever serial killer. They call him Jack the Ripper. They think he might be Jack the Ripper, H.H. Holmes. So.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's
they got a really good tourist thing. The tour.
Real.
And I got some really creepy photos from there. It was
and
really
that's
neat.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I love Chicago. Oh, I missed Tony. Hi, Tony. I'm sorry if I missed you. Oh my goodness. No, I love Chicago. I would go back to Chicago and go to some places to investigate. Here, Sarah said the Congress Hotel. So the Congress Hotel is a spot. Very cool.
That's where we stay. Congress.
The Congress Hotel. I haven't stayed. I've stayed at the Palmer House, but not for paranormal. Oh my goodness! I'm just looking back at the comments. That's the word I'm looking for. This Andrew, you have been everywhere, man.
Right.
Yeah, really. He's been...
Holy moly, Batman! Oh, look at this! I've driven through Rod Sterling's hometown of Binghamton, New York. Oh, very, very cool.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I love it.
Look, one of the best shows
Look
ever.
at his name, though. It says Trucking Express. That's probably
That's
why.
it. That's right. That's right. That's very cool. So maybe that's why you've gotten to go to all this place. That's very awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And why have I not heard about H.H. Holmes? I'm sure I have. But, memory is a fleeting thing.
Mudgett, I think it was his name. I think his great-grandson or something like that, Jeff Mudgett, is the one that's out there now, and he does tours and stuff in Chicago.
Really?
With the post office, and he wrote a book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I had him on my radio show many years ago. Yeah, so he took over. I don't know. I don't know what he took over, but he looked into his family and found that he was in there, and that guy he was bad news. That guy. I think his original name was Herman Mudgett, something like that. Anyway, H.H. Holmes was something to Herman something, but
okay. Holmes wasn't his last name, you mean?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Interesting. That's an interesting story.
Homicide and Horror Holmes.
Homicide and Horror Holmes. Is that what you just... Hey, James Guy. Thanks for coming, James. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all being here and joining us tonight. And I appreciate you guys letting me quiz you tonight. It's so awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so many places I want to go, but time, what can we do? But, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm going to Gettysburg soon, and we got to go to Rolling Hills, and after that,
Sachs Bridge. That's my favorite spot in Gettysburg. I love Sachs Bridge.
Oh, Sachs Bridge, yeah.
I go there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and
he does. He gets up like a maniac in the wee hours, and he goes out there. And then I finally get up at a normal human hour, and he's like, "Oh, I've been up for 4 hours at Sachs Bridge."
I've been there in the middle of the night, and it's great because everybody's out there investigating, doing stuff. So you bring your stuff, you meet up with people that have their stuff, and
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
exchanging stories. I got this. Have you seen this? I got this. Have you seen this? No,
Yeah.
like it's like a big party at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's great.
It's a lot of fun. I know when the last time we went with that group. Ray and I went with it was After Dark or something.
Yeah, they were.
And we got
cool.
lucky because we had a guy named Grayson who was our group leader, from the company. And he had a Pana box with him and he had all kinds of stuff with him. And he was a lot of fun. He was awesome. The meadow below Sachs Bridge, we got more than we got on Sachs Bridge.
That's where I got the best stuff from my DR60.
The meadow.
Yeah.
We're walking through the meadow and I'm walking just behind Ray and everybody else is over there. And all of a sudden this voice says in my ear, hello. And I stopped and I'm like, and I'm looking at him and he's like, what? I'm like, that wasn't you.
Yeah, down below, right by the water,
Yeah.
off the bridge, down by the water, in the meadow, just like you said.
The meadow.
All my great EVPs, they all were really good back
That's
down
what
there.
we did down there. It was really good. It was really good. Oh man. Well, thank you everybody for being here with us tonight. I really so appreciate you guys joining me and letting me interview you. And
we appreciate it. Thank you. Great show.
Thank you. And it's because you guys were here. So thank you so very much.
One of these days I want to have Matt's helmet.
Yeah. we gotta get that helmet. I want to see that documentary too. I'm looking.
I think a lot of people want that helmet. I think you can market those, honestly.
I started something.
Yeah, you did. But they would be very expensive. So thank you, Cassie. Thank you, everybody that was here, by the way. Everybody in chat. Jeremy Wade went fishing at Chernobyl.
What?
Oh, why would you do that? I wouldn't even want to go there. I know it's on your bucket list, Matt, but it's dangerous. And I wouldn't want any fish from there either.
Yeah, I like dangerous locations.
Okay, well, we get you a nice hazmat suit with a matching helmet.
Yeah, helmet's on the outside.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that was in chat. I really appreciate you all being here. You all rock. Ow. I don't know what that was. You all rock. I don't know. Somebody's mic is peaking. Anyway, everybody have a great night. Thank you so much. If you didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, watch back because lots of great information. And we'll see you guys soon, I hope.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, how do we get out?